Well, hello and welcome to my channel. I made a promise to myself this year I was going to vlog some more, so I'm starting now. I just was thinking about it, and I got home a little bit early from work today, and I'm making a really good dinner, and I was like, you know what? I keep saying I'm going to vlog more, so I'm going to actually start vlogging. And so I'm making coq au vin for dinner, and I'm making baguettes, and it's going to be really good. So I'll walk you through that here in just a minute. But one quick thing, and I mentioned this at the end of my last video, but up until now I've been doing like vlogs where I kind of did anything under the sun, whether it was cooking or random stuff we were doing, whatever. And then I would do the Townhouse Tales video. I was doing two separate videos for those, and now from now on I'm just going to do them all in one. So there's not going to be separate Townhouse Tales and separate vlogs. It's all going to be all together in one, just to make things less confusing, and really just for me, because I was like, wait, what is this? Is this Townhouse Tales? Is this whatever? And so now it's just going to be whatever I want to film, whether it's, Townhouse Tales or this. But for instance, in this video, we're starting right now and I'm going to make some food, but I'm also working on the podcast room at work because we're about to restart our podcast, and we're kind of doing some renovations, very, very minor renovations from what we were originally going to do. But anyway, that'll be later in this video, so be looking forward to that. And anyway, yeah, I always say this. I always hate starting a video because I never know what to say, but here we go. Video started. Let's go make some dinner. All right, my friends, welcome to the cutting board. I made myself a double espresso. Like I said, I got home, it's like 3:30. I got home a little bit early from work so I could try and get this going because I know it's going to take me a while between baking the bread and getting this actually going. And so I was like, I am exhausted, and I still want to try and go on a run here before the day is over. So I made myself a double espresso, but I wanted to show you this. This is the cookbook that I'm cooking out of today. It's the Williams-Sonoma French cookbook, and I've only made this once. It was way back, I think, when we had our apartment, so it's been a long time. But I remember it being really good. So I'm not going to totally recommend this yet. I remember it being good, but I'm going to make it again, and then I'll let you know if it actually lived up to the hype that I had in my head. If anyone is interested in what I'm making there, you can see the recipe there if you want to take a screenshot or something like that. But I'm really excited to make it again. I don't have pearl onions is the only thing I don't have. Jessica went the other day to try and find some, and they did not have them at Meijer. So I'm going to, I guess, leave them out unless I make a special trip. I think Trader Joe's sells them, but Trader Joe's is like 20 minutes away, so I don't know if I want to go and do all that. Anyway, so that's what I'm making for dinner, and I'm making baguettes. So I started the dough this morning, and I just wanted to show you this bowl. I got this bowl at IKEA, and the second I saw this bowl, I was like, this is the bowl that I'm going to bake my bread from. And I don't know what it is about it. It just looks so, I don't know, like old school. I just love it. It just makes me so happy. And I'm like, I can just see, like, even like when the girls get to be older and stuff like that, I'm like, oh man, remember Dad, whenever he made bread, it was always in that one bowl. Anyway, that's mostly what I use. So I am going to do this all time-lapse style. I'm not going to show my baguette recipe either because I still feel like it's not perfect. Jessica always says they're really good, and I think they are really good. My sourdough recipe, I have like nailed. Like I know it's so good, I can recreate it every time. At some point, I'll do a video on that. Baguettes, I feel like it's like 80% of the way there. Like they're really good, but they're never like quite what I want. They're not quite perfect. So I'm still gonna keep working on that, but I'll do a time lapse series so you can see what I'm doing. Obviously, it's already almost on. I just have to shape them and then bake them here in a few minutes. But I'm gonna do this whole thing time lapse style. Oh, I was gonna show you one more thing. This just made me laugh. This is, like I said, this French cookbook, Williams-Sonoma French, I got for $3.99. It was such a good deal in this book. I don't even know if they still make it anymore. I can try and link it below. But there's actually a lot of really good stuff in it. The chicken Dijonnaise I made before, that was really good. There's a lot of really good stuff in it. Oh, actually, this is like this is my absolute favorite salmon recipe. I just made that last week. It is so good. But there's a lot of really good stuff in here, but I don't know if they still make it anymore. But if they do, I'll try and link it below. And then you can also get all these recipes. The cheese souffle, steak au poivre. I've made a lot of these. Oh yeah, the French onion soup. That was really good. Anyway, all right. I could talk about this all day. Let's go. So I got everything prepped, and then I stopped and I went on a run. One of my best friends sent me a text this morning and said, hey, I signed up for a marathon here in a couple months and I'm not going to do it. So he said, I can transfer the registration to you. And I was like, all right. I mean, I wasn't really planning on it, but I have a couple months to train. So I'm like, all right, it's a good challenge. I haven't done a full marathon in a couple years. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. And so I went on a run today, got everything prepped before I left. Anyway, I'm back now. So let's go ahead and finish up dinner. So bad news, it's not at all. I filmed all this cooking and I just tried it and I'm like, oh, this is not at all what I remember. I think I must have used a different recipe. Mm-hmm. This is not very good. It's okay. It's not very good.
The chicken is super tender though, I will say.
It is very, but I'm not going to share this recipe at all because this is not at all what I thought it was.
Of course, without the onion, I do think that made a big difference because if you think about how much flavor onion adds to something.
Pearl onion, that was it. But other than that, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is how I made it close to last time and it just... there's like no flavor to it.
Well, we added some butter and salt, and that helped a lot. I actually don't think it tastes bad at all.
But the pearl onions really do kind of make it. But also, it's just the way I made it last time was much more soupy, and so it was. I don't know. So
yeah. Well.
Oh well. So I'm definitely not sharing this recipe because it was not the one at all. I thought it was.
Well, bon appetit. We did end up doing some quick rice to have with it, just to kind of. And then Tyler, your bread looks stunning.
Good, though, so that's
stunning. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello. So the girls are off of school today, and so we decided that we were going to go to the library, and we're going to go to the downtown library, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. It is like, I feel like we've been to a lot of libraries over the years. This, I think, is the coolest library in the world. It's the one like in downtown Indianapolis called the Central Library.
It has this like cool park in front of it.
I used to run in here all the time and run right by the library when our office was downtown. But it's got, like you can see here, so there's two sections. There's the old library, and then behind it, they built a new library, I don't know, 20 years ago?
Yeah, I love that you can see that.
And it's so ornate and cool, but then they've got this really modern, big area in the back, so we'll show you inside. It's very cool.
And this is a shot of the park looking out from the library. It looks so pretty. So here's the back new area where you park. So cool. This is so cute.
Okay, so we're trying to make this. Well, hi. So, Jessica and I have a podcast, if you didn't know. It's called the Disneyville Podcast, and we've been off for a few months for a couple reasons. One, it was the holidays. So we had the holidays, we had Vlogmas, then we were gone in California for a few weeks, then we got back. We had other projects we were doing, like getting our offices set up and ready to go, getting the Europe videos all done. So lots of stuff kind of got in the way, but we were finally going to start bringing back the Disneyville Podcast, and we're very excited. But before we can start, I have to finish up, and by finish up, I mean start and get our podcast room up to snuff. Now, here's the problem. I was going to work on the garage first when we first moved in, if you watched any of those videos, and then it got too cold, so I'm painting the floor out there, I'm doing other kinds of stuff, but it's too cold, and so if I were to spray it out and get it all cleaned out, it would run out and it would freeze and all that kind of stuff. So I've put that project on hold, and when I was planning on getting that done back in, I don't know, October, November, whatever that was now, I moved everything from the garage into the podcast room. Well, then that project got pushed back, and so now I need to take everything that's in the podcast room and put it back out in the garage until eventually this spring or summer I can actually do that project. But the podcast room has now, because I brought so much stuff in, it just became a dumping ground for everything that I didn't want to deal with over the last couple months. And so I hesitate to even show you the state this room is in, but it just, because I knew this was put on the back burner, it's just become a huge mess. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty darn bad. But everything in here, I was like, well, I'll just deal with it later. Well, now it's later. So a lot of the stuff is going to go and get donated. A lot of it's going to go back out to the garage for now. And again, it will all be organized eventually, but everything just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. So we've got holiday decorations in here and all kinds of stuff. So my very first task is to actually clear everything out of here and get it organized. I have some shelves you can see back there. I'm going to put those shelves together out in the garage so I can actually start to organize. I have some that are going to go in this closet here. I can show you here, this closet. And like this was left here, this chandelier kind of thing was left here when we moved in. So I need to like try and sell that on, Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And so then, tools and then boxes of donated stuff, just everything kind of got shoved in here. And then we had our holiday decorations, but I didn't have a chance to get the shelves up in here. And so it just ended up being stuff thrown in here. Anyway, obviously I'm not alone in this, but it's, it is what it is. And we have this little laundry room here off of the podcast room that, again, when we first moved in, I just kind of threw some stuff in here, and now it's time to actually organize it all. So first things first, I'm going to take a few minutes to put those shelves together, and with a couple hours here this afternoon, I'm going to get everything cleared out, hopefully start to get stuff organized a little bit here, and then once everything is out, cleaned out, organized, etc., then I'm going to start on actually redoing the podcast room, so it's going to be set up for filming and all that kind of stuff, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But first things first, it's time for cleanup. Cleanup. Everybody, everywhere. Clean up. Tyler, do your share. Let's go. Okay, so I got everything out of the main room here. I got obviously the shelves built out there. I went ahead and moved the totes, like our holiday totes, out there as well. So that's all done, and then I took the other stuff, and I have shelves kind of on the other side that were already there for like my power tools and all that kind of stuff. Those are all back out there. So now I'm going to do this closet here. I'm going to go ahead and take everything out. I got most of it out when I got the totes and stuff out, but I'm going to get these last few things out and then build these shelves here, and then actually put everything back and have it organized in here, or at least somewhat organized to start with. Quickie Artichokey. The shelves are all put up, and I got another little one over here. So it's all done in here. Everything's out of here. Obviously, the shelves are built. So tomorrow, I'm running out of time now, but tomorrow I will get things back in here, get them organized, and then I can finish tackling the podcast room itself. So we have made some changes to what we were going to do. We've actually changed it like 4 or 5 times. So I think we finally decided what we've landed on. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But I think, well, I'll just tell it more tomorrow. All right, anyway, I'll see you guys later. And I mean, for you guys, it'll be like 3 seconds. Okay, bye. Okay, hi there. It is now the next day. I found a little bit of time today to finish up cleaning everything down here. So in the next video, I will actually do and I say renovations. There's really no renovations. Originally, our plan was to do a lot more than what we're going to do. Now we're going to do quite a bit less and keep it very simple. But I will do that in the next video. But you can see here, I did get this all cleaned out. So over here in the closet area, I got that shelf built and all that kind of stuff. Now there's still some stuff I'm going to get rid of in here eventually. These wire shelves I might put back up. I've got the brackets and everything. I might put up in here, like up high, because there's actually some height in here, and there's some, not wasted space, but I could definitely put them up there if I needed to. But I'm going to kind of think about that. And then I also have some spots in the garage that I might put them up. If I don't end up putting them there, then I can get rid of them. This foam I might use for soundproofing for the podcast area. If I don't use it, I can get rid of that. So good news is this will actually be even cleaner than it is right now. But looking at what it looked like just yesterday, it is already leaps and bounds over where it was. So I can actually walk inside. What a concept. This is great. And looking at this compared to what it looked like yesterday, it is so much better. So I can actually get going and actually start the little bit of stuff before I keep wanting to say renovations. It's not renovations, but get everything ready for the podcast. And then here, maybe next week, and if not next week, the week after that, we will record our podcast and it'll be up after that. So the Disneyville Podcast is coming back. But I am ending this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.